Before 2 a.m. near 26th and Lake. Right now, we don't know what led up to the incident, but police do say one person has been detained. And just a few blocks away from this scene, police responded to a shots fired call. Thankfully, no injuries were reported with this call. Stay with First Alert 6 as we work to learn more. All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6 streaming. Jared is working on a crash just coming in, so we'll check in with him in just a second. First, we have to talk about this weather that we have today.
Yeah.
I mean, warm, so warm we could break a record even.
What, this time last week we were talking about the blizzard on the way?
Exactly.
Yeah, couldn't be further from that right now. Let's dive into it here while Jarrett works on getting the latest information on the crash. It's a pretty big one on the interstate the way it appears. So 77 is the record right now for today. That's the daily record high set on this date back in 1967. We have 79 in the forecast. Not too often when you can forecast with pretty high confidence that we will break a record, and that's going to be the story for today. Little bit of a breeze, starting off chilly. We're down in the 30s, 36 with a feels like number of 28 to start off the day. And that's where we're at here as we get going. 30s out the door, a couple of 40s, even a couple of 20s. So wide range because the air is so calm. The temperature's settling, the cold air settling down into some of the valleys a little bit more than in others. Sunrises, these are all going to even out here. Just takes a few hours of the warm sunshine to do that. Some high clouds to the north. We don't have too much to worry about in that regard, but red flag warnings in place because of the dry conditions out there and all the dry vegetation, plus the wind, plus the lack of moisture in the air during the day today. That's going to impact the fire danger. Burn bans in place in Douglas County, and frankly, it's just a bad idea to have any fires going today with the wind and the dry condition combo. Wind's pretty light right now. You can see how a lot of calms are showing up. The gusts will pick up out of the southwest and get up 25 to 30 miles per hour pretty easily into the late morning and afternoon hours. So you will notice that at times today, and it will help to warm us up. So watch how we even out. Look at 20s and 30s and 40s on the map. Model doing a pretty good job of showing where it cools down the most. By 9, look how these start to even out. Then you got 30s and 40s. By noon, a lot of 50s and 60s, and now we're really starting to climb, and then that wind kicks in. That'll drag us all into the 70s. If not by 3 o'clock, then towards 4 and 5 for some places, even in west central Iowa. Could surge a little bit more than this, and I have 79 in the forecast for today. Should be a great one on the way. First alert to a record high today. Still pretty nice tonight, down near 70, and then overnight we'll fall through the 50s into the 40s. And again, another chilly morning by tomorrow morning, down in the 30s to start off the day. 3-day forecast shows a little chillier for Tuesday, 56, still above average. Average is about 50 this time of year. So we're going to be above that even on the chilly day, up near 70 by Wednesday. So if you got a layer of gunk and grime on your car, you can get it off and likely keep it clean for a good chunk of this week. I have been needing one for a month.
Yeah.
And I got to find time to do it.
I got mine. It just looks so much better when it's clean, right? It feels like it drives better, too.
Without a doubt.
All right, so we have this nice streak of weather, but at the end of the week, we do have some stormy weather headed our way, too.
Some springtime stuff there. Really potent storm system, middle of the country, moving in towards the end of the week. So Wednesday's good. Thursday's pretty good. Clouds will increase a bit on Thursday. Here's Friday. Center of the storm system will actually be passing pretty close to our area, but that doesn't mean we'll get much in the way of impacts the way it looks right now. By 3 o'clock, you can see snow to the west. You have to factor that in. If you got a Friday afternoon drive to start a weekend, maybe in Colorado, you may have to drive through some snow. What I'm watching for Friday is some late afternoon or evening storm potential. Notice how they try to develop more so on our Iowa counties, and then they move east. They're going to move east and northeast very quickly. That's why this line here is probably the one that's going to garner the most attention. That is where the best bet for severe weather will be deeper into Friday night, and then watch the back edge of this swinging through with some snow potential heading into Saturday morning. Now we kind of get clipped by that. Miss out on a good chunk of the storm. So this is right now just a glancing blow in both aspects of the storm system. Bigger snow is going to be to the north. So the greater severe risk, as you can see here, is going to be east of us, east of I-35, and then down to the southeast as well. This will be talked about a lot this week. There's probably going to be a lot of scary posts on social media, but just know it doesn't mean an awful lot for us right now. It's just going to mean some storms mostly to our east and a big temperature change with some wind primarily. Friday into Saturday, we're going to lose about 30 degrees. The winds will be changing directions a lot over that 48-hour time frame. But as of right now, I think we miss out on most of the storms and frankly, most of the snow too.
Wow.
So,
and it's not a blizzard.
It's not for us. There you go.
Not for us anyway. I like the sound of that. All right. I know you've been so busy. What can you tell us about that crash on the interstate?
So we've got multiple lanes that are blocked.
Oh,
this
wow.
is I-80 westbound, roughly about 50th. So this is probably an area where it's just best to avoid it the way it's looking right now, because we're starting to get a parking lot on the interstate. Never a good thing as things are getting up and running. Let me show you what it's looking like. This is the camera roughly around 50th. So you've got the right shoulder blocked. You've got at least one lane here in the middle that is blocked as well with the crash that's in place. So I've been noticing traffic kind of snaking through in the very far left-hand lane. That may be your best bet if you are going on the interstate. You might want to not use the interstate though in that stretch. You're seeing things really stack up as you're getting around 42nd. Delays right now don't get quite back to the JFK interchange, but that's just a matter of time before that takes place with the way this is building. So here's my recommendation. The way this looks, use L to go westbound, and you can just avoid that whole mess that's happening on I-80. Roughly 42nd to 60th is where you're seeing that crash in place with the lanes that are closed. L moving along really well right now, so that's probably your best play. We'll keep you posted with how this continues to affect things. There may end up being some kind of domino effects on the JFK 480 if these delays continue to build back toward that interchange. So we'll continue to follow that as the morning goes on. Update on our other I-80 situation. This is westbound right around Giles, where some debris has been in the road, especially in the left lanes. So as you're heading through this area, you want to go into the right-hand lanes and be ready for it to be slow through that stretch as well. So not off to a good start this morning on I-80. Now, thankfully, other roads seem to be doing pretty well at this point, but we'll continue to keep you posted. There's some big impacts as we're getting the week up and running.
That is not a great start to the week. No. All right, I know you'll keep us updated on that I-80 crash. Jared, thank you. To your news now, a house catching fire sparks a large response for first responders here in Omaha. This happened near 45th and Pine. Here's video of that response. The good news is officials tell First Alert 6 they do not believe there are any injuries, and we do not know what caused the fire to spark. We'll make sure to keep you updated as soon as we learn more information. While police are working to learn more about a shooting that left one person hurt, Omaha police say it began as shots fired call. Officers reportedly found shell casings and bullet holes in a home near 33rd and Burt. Police say the victim is a 22-year-old man. We do not know the severity of his injuries. Anyone with information on this case is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. All right, here at the First Alert 6 Safety Desk with our Maria Kay. This weekend, we pushed the clocks forward by 1 hour, meaning we lost an hour's sleep. I'm feeling it this morning.
Me too. I definitely is felt on this shift, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. But, you know, when we think about that, doesn't it also make you think about your sleep habits?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Well, after dinner, your family might be spending some time winding down in front of the TV, but experts say this downtime could be causing some issues during your bedtime, too. So the latest research finds that blue light from devices can stop your body from producing melatonin, and this can affect you even hours before you go to bed. So a digital sunset is part of the recipe for what doctors say is the key to getting that good night's rest. So that means letting go of all electronics at least an hour before you go to bed. If you struggle with insomnia, there is some treatment that can also just be a few taps away.
The real treatment for insomnia is called CBTI, or Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomnia. But it's really hard to find a therapist who does CBTI by the book. But good news is there are apps now that can act as a virtual CBTI coach and can cure insomnia within 6 to 8 weeks.
Now, you also want to remember to be really mindful of that social media use before you go to bed, too. I know we all do it, that constant scrolling on your phone. It actually creates dopamine, which will make you stay awake longer because your mind is active when you're scrolling and looking. It's the opposite of what we want. I know. To me, I always thought, oh, that might help me fall asleep, but Obviously not.
Okay, we're going to do better on that. All right, let's move on now to spring break. My son's in spring break right now. It's in high gear, starting pretty much this week.
Yeah, a lot of students are already out, and you might be heading out of the Omaha Metro today to travel if you are taking a break. And this spring break travel is expected to break records again this year. So AAA says 3 of the top 4 destinations for spring break in the U.S. are in Florida. Now, expensive parking, curfews, DUI checkpoints, and a really heavy police presence are actually pretty common now for many popular cities during this time. Experts say it is part of a larger crackdown in recent years after issues like stampedes and shootings. Now, there are also warnings for international travelers who are heading to some popular destinations, maybe Mexico if you are going there. The U.S. Embassy there says that you do want to be cautious of crime in those areas that are pretty popular, like Cancun and Tulum. There are people there who might be trying to get you.
Got to stay vigilant when you go to those areas. All right, Maria, thank you. Good information. And stay with us. First Look Streaming. We'll be right back. All right, sure hope your morning's getting off to a good start on this Monday morning. We were just talking, it's still dark out there. We got to get used to this. But you know what? It's not bad temperature-wise, and it's only going to get better from here. We're going to more than double our temperature right today, right?
Easily. We got 30s out the door right now. We're going to make a run at 80 later on this afternoon. Ultimately, I think we fall just short, but who cares?
We're okay.
We're
okay.
We're going to break records today, and even when we cool off, we're still going to be well above where we should be this time of year. And you can see that over the trends of the next 5 days. Average high, we always keep it right up here on this graphic, near 50 degrees this time of year. We'll be even with the cool day on Tuesday, mid-50s. Up near 70 on Wednesday, then up into the 70s Thursday and Friday. Record high is 77 today. We have 79 in the forecast, so I think we're going to be able to break that. We got dry conditions. Dry air, part of the reason why we're warming up, and a southwest wind, part of the reason why we're warming up. That also increases the fire danger. You're seeing widespread red flag warnings in place, burn ban in place for Douglas County. Any open burning, horrible idea today. Postpone it. Be careful with anything that could accidentally cause a fire as well. Current winds, they're light. That's the story this morning. We like the light winds with the coldest part of the day. Those will ramp up out of the southwest, and they'll go 20 to 30 miles per hour all the way into the afternoon. So be mindful of that. It's going to be a breezy one. Traffic's starting to pick up there on Dodge as we go from the 30s this morning up to near 80 for the afternoon high today. So a lot to look forward to in that regard. If you need to get the car washed, again, we'll call it a go for it here. As we get up near 79, it looks like a lot of dry weather this week. Winds tomorrow, though, start off gusting near 25 miles per hour, but they should back off. It's a north-northeast wind. That's why we're going to be a little bit cooler tomorrow. 56 for the high there, up near 70 on Wednesday. And you got some 70s Thursday and Friday as well, with a lot of mild air in place this week. No blizzards in that forecast. You are not going to see snow stack up at all this week.
Thank goodness. Okay, not snow, but we could see some rain in form of storms, unfortunately, on the weekend. We need the rain, though.
That's the thing. That's the one thing you need to pay attention to. We need the rain, but I think these aren't going to be the beneficial things. So if we can miss out on Friday, I think we'd all be okay. These are going to be fast-moving and possibly pretty potent storms moving through, and I'd like to get them out of our area as quick as possible. We'll see how it goes, but Friday right now is 40% chance of some spotty storms, and then we lose 30 degrees and possibly bring in a little rain snow mix for Saturday. Let me show you what that looks like here. We go through Thursday into Friday. There is that storm system right here's the center of it. And with the center passing by, that puts the best storm threat, I think, just to our east. We could see storms develop in our area and then quickly move out into Friday night. This is likely the line that's going to have the pop to it close to our area. It'd be central and eastern Iowa, and then you get the snow trying to wrap in on the cold side of the storm for Saturday. So again, that does look like it's going to be something to watch for our area. But right now, the latest severe risk outlined area does put the strongest storms east of I-35 down towards more of a St. Louis, Memphis, Little Rock problem. But again, we'll watch to see if the west edge of that tries to sneak back in. It does look like it would be a very short window sometime Friday afternoon if we're going to have any. I'd like it if they developed outsite of our area and didn't.
It looks like it's got some punch to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty potent one.
Yeah, I'm watching those for my family back in Illinois.
Without a doubt.
All right, you're also watching I-80 for us. What's the latest?
Well, the good news is we've opened the lanes back up.
Okay.
The bad news is it's still parking
It's still
lots.
slow.
So yeah, it's maybe still an area where you want to avoid. This is all due to that crash. I-80 westbound right around 50th. And you can see the crash has been moved over to the shoulder. So that's good. We are now not trying to dart in and around the crash that had been in those center lanes, but it's still very slow as you're heading through this area. And you can see the delays now stretch all the way back, unfortunately, to the JFK interchange. I was afraid of that, and we'll see how this starts to impact things. The ramp already slow going from the northbound JFK to westbound I-80. So again, I think the best option here is to go to westbound L, and that will help to alleviate some of that traffic trying to make its way to I-80. We'll see how things continue to go here. If you're maybe being really proactive, use 13th to go northbound. If you usually use the JFK, I'm hoping that since that's cleared and the lanes on I-80, that won't be a huge impact, but something to keep in mind if you use that route usually. I-80 right around Giles, we still have some debris that's in the road in the left lanes with some delays right in that area specifically. Hopefully we can get that cleaned up pretty quickly as well. The other big thing I'm seeing right now, 84th is still slow northbound, still construction there. That's supposed to wrap up after today, but as you head toward L, you're going to be looking at delays there. But I-80 is definitely the biggest story right now.
Oh, for sure. All right, Jared, thanks for keeping us up to date. Well, a protest at 72nd and Dodge rallying against the Trump administration. It's part of an online movement called 50-51. 50 protests across 50 states under what organizers say is one movement. We're told it was originally planned for last Tuesday when other states around the country were doing the same, but the blizzard caused them to reschedule. Well, here is why one Omaha woman says she showed up.
I'm here for women's rights, to keep women's reproductive rights, and I'm here to fight for our democracy since it's been hijacked by Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
Well, there was a similar protest at the state capitol in Lincoln. Happening today in Lincoln, an autopsy is scheduled after a body was discovered in a wooded area. While the identity is not yet confirmed, the father of Tyler Goodrich believes it is his son. Goodrich went missing back in 2020. Weekend officers say a person walking their dog found the body. The discovery happened a little more than a half mile from Goodrich's home.
It's Tyler. It's Tyler. It's Tyler. They were all his tattoos. Hair color was the same. It's Tyler. He has been found. For 16 and a half months, I've prayed every night. I've stood at my door, asked him to come up the driveway. I prayed that we would get information, and at least today, we got that one piece.
Officials say they are treating the death as suspicious, but not as a homicide. Well, happening tomorrow, First Alert 6 is hosting a debate between the 5 candidates vying to become Omaha's mayor. Brian Mastry will be the moderator, and you can watch the debate live at noon on our website. It's firstalert6.com, as well as our Facebook and YouTube pages. The debate is sponsored by the Omaha Press Club and the League of Women Voters of Greater Omaha. Well, coming up, a special delivery from police after a boy called 911. Find out the child's unusual request when we return right here on First Alert 6 streaming.
Welcome back. We can probably all relate to the frustration of discovering that someone has eaten maybe a special snack or some food without our permission. But last week in Wisconsin, it made a 4-year-old boy so upset, he actually went to the police.
Oh, well, he took it up a level, didn't he? So after his mom ate his ice cream, he flat out called police, told them to put her behind bars. Listen to this.
Hello? This is Racine County 911. What's the address of the emergency?
My mom is being bad.
Okay. What's going on?
Hello? Come and get my mommy.
Okay, what's going on?
Come get my mommy.
Do you know your...
Hello.
Hi, what's going on over there?
Oh, this little one got the phone, and he's 4.
Okay.
And we're trying to catch him because he said he was going to call 911.
No, I
And then
got
we
in I just called the police, and I just told her to come and get my mommy. And I just told her, and I just had to get my mommy, and I just told her to put her to jail. So leave me alone.
I ate his ice cream, so that's probably why he's calling 911.
Can you?
That is the most important thing in his day.
I know. Okay, so when officers got to the house, because they probably still had to check it out, right? The boy told them he didn't want his mom to go to jail anymore. Police came back the next day with a surprise delivery of ice cream for him and his family.
Oh, that's so
That's very sweet, but I hope he doesn't do that again because they rewarded him for that behavior.
Well, and if you remember last week, we had the story that was going around about the kid that called about the donuts.
Oh, that's right.
So now we got a trend going.
Wow.
It's good to teach your kids how to dial 911, but I never thought about
Charlotte doing that?
we do throw some food tantrums, and I got to watch for that one.
Oh, this is cute. Cute-ish. All right.
Yes.
Stay with us. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. We're going to give you our update on the Today Show here on streaming in just less than 2 minutes, or you can watch it over the air. Have a great day, everybody.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Monday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole. We want to get right to Jared and traffic. He's first loading us to some trouble on I-80.
And this is between 42nd and 60th, heading westbound. We had a crash that was actually for a brief time in the center lanes and caused all sorts of backups. That's been moved to the right shoulder now, and things are improving some in that area. Still slow as you're approaching there, and the backups have built up to about the JFK interchange. You can see how things are slow as you're making your way on that ramp from the JFK northbound to westbound I-80. So watch for things to be slow through there. You can use L as an alternate route if you'd like to try to avoid that situation. The other situation on I-80 we had with some debris has cleared up near Giles, so good news there. Rusty.
The only situation I have over here is a record high that's on the way today. 79 for the high. The record is 77. I think we can get this one pretty easily today, folks. So if you want to play along at home, that's what we need to get to officially, is 77 to at least tie the record. A west-southwest wind will go 20 to 30 miles per hour with some of the gusts today. So be mindful of that. It is going to help warm us up. It also dries us out, so that's going to increase the fire danger. You got 30s and 40s out there right now. From these numbers, we will jump pretty quickly. 63 by noon, 76 by 3 o'clock, and still holding on to 77 by 6 o'clock because everything's shifted an hour. You got a little bit more to enjoy there in the evening now, and it's a little darker in the morning. 56 on Tuesday, 69 on Wednesday, 73 by Thursday. Notice this changes Friday to Saturday. Storm system, we're on the warm side of it Friday, the cold side of it Saturday.
Rusty, thank you. We are tracking breaking news this morning. One person is in the hospital after a shooting in the metro. Authorities say it happened just before 2 a.m. near 26th and Lake. We do know one person has been detained. It is 7:28. We are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then. Have a good day.